Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking the brand new app from Cem Olcay. This is called ScratchBud. Let's have a quick look at this. Several different ways to use this. You can choose your source here. We can have live input and we can also have a couple of samples. And there's a fresh sample. This is your speed. Let's take it off LFO. Don't worry, I'm going to explain how all this works. You can also load in your own samples as well. Right now, live is the most fun. At the moment, you will see that I have Hammerhead in this, but I've got ScratchBud on everything here just to give you an idea of what it works and what it can do. It's capable of some very, very cool stuff. And apart from anything, it looks great. Okay, so this is the wet mix here. So crossfading from dry mix, sorry, to completely wet. But you'll get this. So if I press play, I'm going to turn that down a minute. All you're hearing is Hammerhead now. Now, what ScratchBud does, if I just turn this down a little bit, is it's constantly listening and it's going to constantly record a 3-second buffer. So watch this. If I press record now, it's recording this in and it's constantly re-recording 3 seconds of what it hears, right? So for example, if I press stop on record and I go all the way over to the wet mix, that's the last 3 seconds that the ScratchBud heard. And this is the speed. Okay. Very cool. Now you have an offset, a cutoff, resonance, stuff that you can play around with, you know. You can have an LFO, and here's the rate of the LFO. And you can choose different LFO shapes. And this is the amount, so you can watch the green. And then you can blend this back in with the dry mix as well, so you can create some nice effects like that. When you're on LFO, the speed won't do anything at all. The sync matters both ways, you see. So it's free running. If LFO is off, the speed controls the turntable. Okay, let's go all the way over here. If we press stop, we can now just scratch it as per normal. And if I set a cue point, say, let me go to somewhere like here, and I'll tap Q. When I press play, as long as I'm not on LFO mode, when I press play, I can keep queuing that particular point up and still blend it in with what I have going on. In the settings here, you have various ways. You have your MIDI channel crossfader trigger nodes. If you're using it via MIDI crossfader behavior, it's just a couple of options of what to do when you use the crossfader. So leave it on normal. The amount was when the LFO was engaged. Okay, so you get the idea. Right. And then what happens if you want to empty this buffer, you can just start recording again. and it's going to listen to what. A good example of this is if we now press stop and I go all the way over to the wet mix and I go into Hammerhead, choose a preset and maybe change the preset to this. Okay, we have a different drum pattern playing now, but you can't hear it yet because it's all the way over to the wet mix. But you could then blend them both together. Have the LFO on. Have it synced up. And get some cool rhythm stuff going. Very nice. It's a very easy app to use. You can do some really nice stuff. And then if we wanted to record our new pattern into the buffer, all we need to do is literally hit record. And now it's listening to the new pattern. Because we're on sync, you can set it exactly the same or twice as fast. And again, your mix. But don't forget that while the recorder's on, it's constantly recording the new input it hears. Okay. So let's have a listen to it. So here we have the wonderful Solderbox from Jacob and Bram. Just doing a cool sequence. If we look in here, I have record turned off. So I'm going to switch record on now. We can then just change, and it's recording a new buffer, as you can hear. So some really interesting effects. Of course, you can blend it in. What we can do here. Set a new cue point somewhere. So if you want to do some really cool experimenting, you can put your finger on this anytime and stop it and do a bit of scratching. Engage an LFO. Reverse it. Now, let me explain what happens with the buffer. It's much easier if I do this with my voice. So, at the moment, it's listening, of course, and if I hit record, it's just going to record whatever comes in. Now it does this sometimes, I'm not sure why. Let me just go to another and then go back to my live input. Now it's listening and recording what's coming in, and you won't hear the recorded buffer until I start to bring this over. As soon as I bring that over, But as soon as I bring that over, but you see what happens is because it's recording 3 seconds and it will stop. So if I want to keep what I've recorded, for example, I'll just press record and it'll hold that recorded information in the buffer. Recorded, for example, I'll just press keep what I've recorded. You can hear a mixture of me and this. I'll just press keep what I've recorded, for example. I'll just press keep what I've recorded, for example. I'll just press keep what I've recorded, for example. I'll just press keep what I've recorded, for example. I'll just press keep what I've recorded, for example. I'll just press and then go into the LFO. And then I can press record again and it will carry on recording new information in until I stop talking, of course, and then it will stop. Right, so let's stop this. Stop that as well. Let's close this. I can remove that from the chain there. So on something like this, oh, let's do this first. This is from Daniel's new MC15 pack, Les Productions Zvon. So it's just like a piece of old cinema music. It's weird this. It does this sometimes. It might be a bug, but I'll just go back to R and now it's recording. And we're hearing a mixture. Get some real interesting stuff. Now you're just hearing the recorded buffer, and it's going to continually change after every 3 seconds unless you press stop, and now that will be held and you can do what you like with it, you know. Until we blend back in our original signal. And
coming north or
on something like a straightforward vocal, for example, this
rain or showers, good, occasionally poor.
Shipping forecast recording I've got.
Northeast backing north 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times. Occasional rain, moderate or good, occasionally poor in Hebrides. Fair Isle, easterly, becoming cyclonic in the southeast, then backing northeasterly elsewhere later, 5 to 7.
So this is great, just let it keep recording.
Occasional rain,
I've got on about 50%,
occasionally poor,
and add some effects.
Faroes, southeast Iceland, northeasterly 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times in East Faroes. Showers, good. Now, weather reports from coastal stations for 2300. Tyree, automatic, south-southeast.
For audio damages, a rat shack reverb.
Slowly. Stornoway, east by north, 4, 16 miles. 999, falling more slowly. Lerwick, southeast, 2, 22 miles. 1006, falling slowly. Wick, automatic, east by south, 4, slight drizzle and rain, 6 miles, 1002, falling. Aberdeen, southeast, 3, moderate rain, 3 miles, 1000, falling. Lucas, east-southeast, 3, mist, 4 miles, 999, falling. Boomer, southeast
then we
by
can use
south,
the LFO.
4, moderate showers, 2 miles, 1000,
with the reverse saw.
Bridlington, 1002, falling. Sandetti light vessel automatic, south-southwest, 6, 11 miles, 1010, falling slowly. Greenwich light vessel automatic, south-southwest, 7, 5 miles, 1010, falling slowly. St Catherine's Point automatic, southwest by south, 4, 1008, falling slowly. Jersey, south by west, 5, recent rain, 13 miles, 1010, falling slowly. Channel light versal automatic, southwest, 6, 2 miles, 1009, now rising. Silly automatic, southwest, 6, haze, 4 miles, 1006.
Build up some very cool soundscapes and stuff, you know.
Southwest by south, 5, 3 miles, 1003, falling slowly.
Awesome stuff. There you go.
Slight showers, 8 miles, 1002.
And you'll hear that if it's held in the buffer, for example, like this one, we'll stop that. This is because this is generating everything on its own. Now, what's that coming from? Here we go. There it is, ScratchBud. Awesome stuff, very entertaining indeed. It's $5.99 on the App Store, and it's ScratchBud vinyl scratching effects. I think it's much more than that, though, much more than just like your kind of vinyl-y scratchy stuff. I think it's really entertaining and a very interesting app indeed from Cem. I think, because Cem usually makes MIDI apps, of course, you know, the ARP buds and scale buds and all that kind of stuff. I think this is maybe his first effect, carries on making the effects apps anyway. So, awesome stuff. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a patron, and I will see you guys later. Ta-ra. ScratchBud. I'll put a link in the description.